Peace, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome, creative rulers. Welcome to my channel. My name is Victoria, and we are the creative rulers. We came here, we was born in this earth, and we followed all of these rules. We had lived this regular life, and then all of a sudden, one day, there was an awakening that happened, and we realized that we are came here for a bigger purpose. We are more than what we see on TV. We're more than what we hear on in the music. We're more than what our family and so-called friends have told us that we cannot be. We are more than that. We are the creative rulers. We are the ones who it's time for us to rise up. So first off, happy New Year in this Gregorian calendar year. I know a lot of people are like, you gotta celebrate it in the spring, but it's crazy because I just learned like this weekend that there's a third new year, the lunar new year. So I'm like, okay, and it's January, February, and March. But I feel like now that you have all this information and tools and resources, you can celebrate your own time at your own time, and you always have a chance to start over and start anew. You don't have to wait till the new year. You can start in the morning, like you can start in the next 2 seconds. Do something new, try something new. But don't just get stuck in this cycle where we're always just celebrating this, and this, and this, and this on this day because we're told to do so. But starting first today, I want to share a story with you. Also, share just the information on what it is to be like a creative ruler and how we can be practical and use our tools to help people. I want to bring you to awareness of what we as adults like what happens to us when we don't even realize that things are still hindering our growth. You got to get to the root cause and the root problem of what hurt us, what stopped us, what has blocked us from growing and changing, and what are we holding on to. It's a new year, so like I need to let go of like not wanting to do my work and get out of that space because as a creative ruler, this is for like all spiritual beings that like you're a spiritual being here having a human experience, and you know that you know that it's a game. You just gotta play the game and just live your life and be happy. We still got work to do regardless of what's happening in the world. We still have to do our work because we're the ones to rise up next. I have a story for you. In this story, this lady, her name is Kim, and she's going to speak with a creative ruler, one of us, and she's going to tell her story. So let's get to it. So Kim was shopping in the store. She saw creative rulers in the grocery store buying fruit. Creative rulers had this beautiful crystal necklace on, and they were kind of staring at each other for a little bit. And you ever get prompted to go and speak to someone and say hello, and even when you don't feel like you're like, okay, I feel like I gotta go say hey something. So hey girl, how you doing? Right? So they speak, and Kim just says, hey, my name's Kim. I'm married. I'm new here. I'm from Chicago. He's like, I have 4 young children. My oldest 2 children are in college. And after just random conversation, Kim just gets emotional. And, you feel like, okay, there's more that has to happen. We're out in public. Let me just give her my number so we can call, so she can call me. So later on that night, Kim, without hesitation, called you that same night. She's like, girl, I gotta talk to you. Got a lot of stuff just going on. I feel so emotional. Kim lets out and lets us know that she was abused sexually as a child. Um, and then she told her mom, and her mom thought she was lying. So her mom punished her for speaking about that. Then Kim had a friend, she said this is something that was bothering her. She's like, I have to tell somebody this. She told her friend what happened, and her friend laughed at her. So Kim said that she vowed to never speak of this sexual abuse again. She was bullied in high school. She decided to be promiscuous. She became very promiscuous, which caused her to be a teenage mom, 6 children by 3 different men at like 43 years old. Kim shared with us also that she was married, her first marriage. The guy was really abusive to her. He beat her, and anytime she wanted to speak, he would hit her in the mouth. And Kim lost two teeth because of that. But Kim said that eventually she got enough, mustered up enough courage and talked with her friends. She got support, and she was able to leave and divorce her first husband. She is now married to a wonderful man who she loves. Together, they have twin boys. They're 3 years old. She said that she knows her husband loves her, but Kim doesn't feel like she can open up to her husband. She felt like she hasn't made her husband happy. She's gained over 100 pounds after having her boys, like they're twins. She couldn't lose the weight, so she felt like she was failing him, and she really contemplated suicide because of the stress of having these young boys and always wanting to live a different life. Said that she's a daydreamer. She likes to dream of having this reality and this perfect life or living in a perfect world, but then she comes to her own reality and she feels like super bipolar because she you get in the spaces like, what am I supposed to, I don't want to be here no more. She also expressed that her husband gets upset with her because she goes in a room. She has some moments of solitude, and she just spends a lot of time by herself. She sees the numbers 1111 and 222 a lot, and she's not sure why. And another thing Kim expressed and shared with us is that last time she went to the dentist, there was something swollen in her neck. Her neck was swollen. So that was also stressing Kim out, which caused her to become very emotional again. And she was just super apologetic for like dumping all of her problems on us. But we understand that when you're going through something, you really want somebody to hear for you. You need somebody to hold that space for you so you can let it out. Kim also expressed that like trying to speak with her friends, it can get draining because she's always helping them, and it's like she doesn't feel like she can talk to anyone else, but she feels safe speaking with us. And you, as a creative ruler, you have these people that come to you with these stories and they talk with us, and we're like, okay, how can I help them? Or actually, not even that, like how to help them. So with that, where do we start? Where do we start with Kim with understanding who she is as a person? With the beginning of Kim's story, at this mark, Kim was sexually abused by her uncle at a young age. She told her mom. Her mom said she was lying. She got punished for it. Told a friend. Her friend laughed. She said, I'm not speaking about this no more. So that's a trauma. That's a trauma that happened to her as a child, and she was not able to get the justice that she wanted or express what really happened. So there was trauma that was held down in her. And our bodies are very much connected to everything works, right? Your hand, your brain tells your hand, your fingers to do stuff without even you knowing. Your lungs are breathing for you, your heart is beating for you, so everything works all together simultaneously. I think I said it right. So with Kim's not speaking of this trauma, this sexual trauma that happened to her, this energy is being pushed down to her sacral chakra, and she becomes very promiscuous in school, and she's sleeping around, and she's used that energy that's like, this happened to me, I need to express this. It's being expressed in another way. I hope that if that makes sense. What I've learned over time, when you are not dealing with when something's not being dealt with, it can be, I say with the chakras, I feel like it can be expressed in a negative or a positive way depending on whatever situation you're dealing with in that time frame. So we recognize right now that there is a chakra issue that's happening with Kim. So Kim Kim has maybe a throat chakra issue, and then maybe an overactive sacral chakra because she's taking whatever that's not dealt with or blocked or challenged, not really a blockage, but like a challenge, and using the energy in another way that was overactive. Sun's going away. All right. Okay. So another thing, we Kim has grown up now. She meets this wonderful man, and even after being abused with her first husband, she's still able to open up her heart and get married again, and then have beautiful children again. Okay. So, but Kim expresses that she has a wall up, and this wall is probably up due to not being able to speak her truth. Maybe she's afraid to say something because what if my new husband, maybe what if he get mad one day and hit me? The wall is up because she doesn't want to go through the experience again. Kim has to deal with some self worth, self value, even with you being going through a traumatic experience as a child. There's a part of you that's not feeling like you're valued, a part of you feeling like you're not worthy because when and her dealing with that traumatic experience caused her to be promiscuous and caused her to, okay, maybe I'm only valued if I do this certain situation. You know what I'm saying? All right. So another thing Kim mentioned was her neck. She went to the dentist and they said that her neck was swollen. So immediately thinking, we can tell Kim like, okay, just go back to your childhood. You vowed to not speak on a certain thing. You were hit in the mouth for attempting to speak your truth, and now you're married with a wonderful person that loves you, and you're afraid to speak up because of what has happened to you in the past. So all of that, because it wasn't dealt with, even though she overactively used, expressed it out in a different way, it still wasn't dealt with. So maybe there could be an issue there with her throat chakra in general, like her speaking, her communication. Yeah, she let us know that's a step to healing. It's a major step when you actually start to let somebody know what's bothering you and you bring it up. That's a big, big step. So we're gonna go a little bit further. All right, so that's just like going off of her story. So now we can break down Kim's birthday. Kim's birthday is it is March the 2nd, 1978. And she was born at 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, Illinois. So we break down her birthday, March 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 8. You break that down and you get 3. Her life path number from her birthday is a 3. 3 in numerology is about communication. So everything that Kim has told us lets us know that she needs to work communicate. There's communication that needs to happen within her life. Kim has also let us know about angels numbers that she saw, 1111 and 222. So with numerology, our number 1 is new beginnings, 2 is balance. When you adding 1111 together, you come make it it has to be a single digit. So you add 1111 and you get 4. 4 is there is major beginnings happening for her that's going to result in her doing her work. And her work is communicating. Another number Kim has dealt with was 222. 222, I'm sorry, 2 is about balance, and balance needs to happen. Balance is a good thing when it comes to your, especially like your dream, your imagination world, and then your reality. So if she can balance like her dream world and her reality, or at least make her to put her dreams and turn them into reality, that would be a great balance for her. And we as creative rulers, we're going to break down balance. So 222, 2 times 3, or 2 added together 3 times is 6. Balance is family. There's major beginnings and major balance that needs to happen with her family, with her um, recognizing the issues that she has with her family. She can go and heal those traumas and deal with the problems and the things that's been bothering her as an adult, which causes her to be super emotional and let off all of her traumas off to a total stranger, which is really not a total stranger because she's found balance. Six, when it comes to family, it can be physical family and soul family. So she found the right person. So now I'm going to go a little bit more deeper. I'm going to pull up Kim's natal chart. We have her birthday, March 2nd, 1978, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, Illinois. We're going to pull her natal chart up and we're going to go deeper into her story and what makes her a person. And sometimes your chart can tell you like why you go through that and how you can heal from it. Okay, so stay tuned. All right. So just going deeper into Kim's story. Kim provided us with her natal chart. Us as spiritual beings, we have all of these tools and resources to help us out on this earth, to help us navigate through our life, to bring us balance, to bring us some sense of what's happening here. And we went over numerology, her life path number, and number synchronicities. And so let's look at her natal chart where we can dive a little bit deeper, where we can talk about her spiritual foundation, her soul mission, because she's an accountant and she doesn't like her job at all. So with her life path number, her soul mission may be in reference in regards to communication and talking, maybe counseling people. So the first thing we're going to look at here, family. On Kim, she's a Pisces. So remember when Kim said that she would feel bipolar because she would daydream a lot, and then she would get in trouble at work for not focusing because she would be in this reality of like another reality. Pisces is your imagination, is fantasy. So her sun sign is shining a light on her fantasizing her life. The seventh house is relationships, partnerships. Her Venus is sitting in the seventh house and her Mercury. Venus is your planet of love, how you love. Mercury is how you think and communicate. So just thinking back at her story as a child, or just even her just growing up, her thinking and her communication when it comes to love has to be balanced because the seventh house energy is Libra, and Libra is all about balance. So she has to balance herself, speaking up and being true to herself, knowing her worth and her values. Your worth and your values is the second house. So she has to balance how to value herself and balance how to value her life. So, and that's one thing I definitely want to point out. Another thing I want to point out her her Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. Chiron teaches us how we heal ourselves, and it teaches us what was done to us when it came to us getting this healing. So her Chiron is sitting in the house of Taurus. Taurus originals energy is the second house. Okay? The Taurus original energy is the second house. The second house is the house of values. So there's something. So she was not being valued. And Taurus and Chiron is the wounded protector. So as a child, in her childhood trauma, the wounded protector, she was not able to be protected as a child in her self-worth, in her self-values. And this is really, I love how this all just ties together. This can tell you what's happening with you. Another important thing, let me get my notes for this, is we're going to talk about Kim's soul mission. You can find your soul mission out in your natal chart. Your natal chart is literally a map of your life, the day, or the map of the sky, the day you were born. So you'll find your soul mission through four different houses, and you connect them all together. We're going to start with the first house is the house of self and who she's going to attract. The house of self And who she's going to attract. She's going to attract people that's going to need advice when it comes to health. Yeah, needing little extra advice. Her second house, we're sitting in the house of Libra. Libra is how she's going to make her money. She's going to make her money by balancing, by sharing with other people how they balance, how you balance your health. Sixth house is Aquarius here. Sixth house is how she's going to do business. She's going to do business by the mind healer, by healing the mind. The Aquarius is the water bearer. It's a humanitarian, ruled by Uranus. So there's like abrupt, rebellious. There's like abrupt and rebellious change. So she's going to be able to help people balance their minds, like balance their minds. See here, pointing at the computer, balance their minds when it comes to their own soul mission. And then the next house we look at is the 10th house, which I feel is perfect because it ties it all together for Kim. Her 10th house is a Gemini, and in Gemini, energy is all about communication. Gemini is communication. And I, excuse me. And I also want to point out that Jupiter is in Gemini. Jupiter is about expansion and abundance. So once Kim is able to recognize what has what trauma she needs to heal, she can be super expansive in her communication, very expansive in her communication when it comes to speaking her truth, when it comes to speaking about what happened to her as a child, and then her first marriage being hit in the mouth because she wanted to express herself. This is a way that she can be true to herself and actually do her mission. And do her mission. All right. Forgive me, I had to run outside, so give my glasses time to get that normal. But another very important thing I definitely want to point out is meditation and dealing with just finding out who you truly are within yourself, because that's the very very first thing that you need to be doing when you get to such an emotional state where you're not sure of what to do. You're living a life that you don't like. You live in a life and you're daydreaming and fantasizing about a different reality. You don't know how to open up to your husband. You don't feel worthy anymore. You see in angel numbers. So it's like the best time for you to really go inward and speak with yourself. Or you hate your job, so you're like, okay, what do I do? That's when you take the time to pray and meditate, go inward, journal, face those shadows that you're dealing with that keep coming up, face those triggers that come up to you, and utilize every single resource and tool that you can to ascend and just heal. So leaving with this, us as creative rulers, we are here to do work, not just you but me as well. Definitely on this first day of the first new year in this Gregorian calendar, I want to do something different and do something that I love, and that's talking and speaking about everything that I've learned, and then sharing that information with everybody else, and also connecting with people that have the same interests, so we can grow and build off of each other, because that's the best part about the humanity and the collective. But once again, as creative rulers, use your tools, your resources, study, meditate, journal, heal your traumas, deal with it, forgive, love, have fun, live life, and enjoy. I appreciate you again. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I hope you learned something. And I love you. Peace.